Hi, this is Marie. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Charles. Today, I want to talk to you about perception because as a healer, it is the main thing that I do is to help people change their perception, the way they see, hear, or feel things, the way they have perceived their reality is only going to allow them to keep perceiving and experimenting and creating the same thing. So my job is to actually change their perception. Today on the radio show, someone called in and she told everyone on the air that she was a therapist and she was feeling not only really tired lately, but also very depressed. That's what she said. And when I read her energy, I didn't get the feeling of depression at all. Of course, she's the expert. She's actually an educated therapist. So I said to her, I don't think that you're depressed. I get that you're tired. And I got the opinion that she should have some nice warm broth and climb into bed and cuddle and get some rest in between her clients and whatever's going on in her busy day. But I really got the feeling that she's letting go of a whole lot of things. Like she shifted her energy so well that she's now detoxifying old emotions and old belief systems. So I actually think she was in a beautiful and powerful place. And as I was explaining that to her, you could hear through her voice that her energy had shifted. It got happier. She got more relaxed. She agreed with me. So I think it's funny that if we start to introduce a new way of understanding our circumstances or our predicament, we actually might believe it. We might believe something very different. We're going to change our perception, which is going to change the energy in your body. And if we're talking about health issue, it's going to change the cells in the part of the body that have been in a low frequency that think they're depressed. And it's going to heighten the vibration, which will then heal the area. This happens to me all the time with clients. By the time they talk to someone like me and they have a health issue, they're pretty depleted. They're pretty scared. They've maybe had a lot of medical treatments, or the doctors can't find out what's wrong with them, but they have a lot of symptoms. And one of the first things I tell the clients that I notice that are complaining about their body, I tell them that they can't complain anymore for the rest of their life about their body. I said, of course, if you go see your doctor, you have to describe your symptoms, but their negative language is actually creating a perception and a reality. They're reconvincing their body every day that they have a health issue. They're stuck in a very limited awareness of even how powerful their body is and their ability to heal. So once we stop speaking negatively about something we want to change, that can go a long way into changing one's perception, because if you keep repeating it, you're going to believe it. Beliefs have a lot to do with repetition, things that we heard over and over again when we were a child, or things that we tell ourselves over and over and over again. Once it becomes a belief, then we start running our energy into it. Luckily, beliefs can dissipate once you stop talking about them, like saying mean things about your body, or believing that you'll never heal, or feeling like a victim. That in itself can be a change of perception. And then once we add something like some what if questions and I move some subatomic particles in their body, the majority of people get well. Their diseases go away. They're usually shocked and surprised that they feel better so quickly. I'm always happy as I possibly could be and thrilled for them. Perception is everything. So what about areas of your life that aren't about your physical form? Because that seems to most people unrelated, because the body is right here. You're touching it, you're feeling it, you're breathing into it. It's having symptoms. It's having a fever or a headache, or, some serious pain in your body, or your lab values from your blood are showing disease. So that seems, I think, more tangible for people when it comes to changing one's perception so that they could have a different experience in their body, because your mind and your energy are very powerful, and how you communicate about your circumstances actually matters. So that means every area of your life, if it's not the way you want it, you need to have a change of perception. In fact, many people have said, if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it's not working, that's a sign of, I guess they call it craziness. But what it really means is you're not going to get a different outcome. You have to change your perception. You have to look at things differently. You have to look at things differently. For many of my clients who want to create more wealth in their life, the first thing I teach them is to have a different thought in their mind about something that brings them complete happiness before they touch anything to do with money, before they put their password into their online banking account, before they touch their wallet or their purse, before they write a check or go to the mailbox. Anytime before they engage with money, I've asked them to change their thought to something very different that brings them joy. Because most people are not happy about money, by the way, even though it was a beautiful thing created by the universe to help us not actually have to do so much hard labor. We all used to work on farms, most people did, and we'd have to work from, first thing in the morning to really late at night. We bartered mostly between our neighbors and friends. We didn't use a lot of dollars for a very long time, but the universe actually helped change that. So we wouldn't work so hard and we could potentially spend more time doing inner work. I think some people think farmers had it best because they were outside all day and they were communing with nature. No, they were working like dogs. They were working really hard to take care of their family. Even if they weren't in fields, women were making butter and washing clothes by hand, a lot of hard labor. So the currency, in terms of how often we use it today, was created so that we can do more spiritual inner work and take more time out for ourselves, which would be important for you to look at work in terms of that way. That would be a totally different perception versus feeling that you are chained to a corporation and you're never going to get out of it and you're never going to have free time. Because you're right, if you keep thinking that, you won't. It won't happen. So what if you looked at it that this is actually a positive movement, a relying on currency and having to work for dollars or euros or whatever the monetary value may be in your part of the world, so that you have more time to do inner work? That's a totally different change in perception. When you change your perception, you'll need to be consistent on it. New ideas start to come in because you're in a completely different mode of awareness. Try to think that every title or subject about life has its own mode of consciousness. And if things aren't changing in your life, you need to change what mode you're in. You need to switch to a different gear. You need to change the channel or the radio station. You need to move. You need to have a different change of perception, and you just stay there for a while. You need to contemplate it, sit with it, get curious about it. What if that's true? And luckily, when I speak to my clients, they actually, the majority of them believe the new versions that I give them about certain things in their life, their body, or possibilities that they could have. And they stay in that energy long enough, which could be days, weeks, or months, that allows them to have a different outcome in their physical form or in other areas of their body, over and over and over and over again. So that's really what healing is about. And having a different experience in life is you first need to change your perception about it. You need to find a different way to be curious about it. Don't be stuck in the hiccup of a problem. Don't let your mind convince you that you have no other option or there's nothing that can be done for it, because your mind can't come up with the solutions that you would truly love and embrace. However, your awareness, your consciousness can, if you dance in a new perception. I hope that's helpful. Drop me a note if things start to change for you when you change your perception. I'd love to hear all about it. Bye-bye.